Hello, and welcome to our channel. Here you find amazing content about the top-notch review and recap of episodes from anime cartoon series and their actual action scenes and more. Previously, Yuya is despised by everyone in life for his looks. Even his nuclear family reject him. However, his granddad continued to care for him, giving him life advice to always help people. One day, he kind of saves Corey from some hooligans harassing her by taking a beatdown. It is later revealed that his grandfather passed away and left his property to Yuya, which leads to his parents disowning him for not being able to access the inheritance. Left alone, unloved and bullied, he gets frustrated and punches his bathroom wall, which leads to his grandfather's hidden antique room. He finds a door that leads to another fantasy world with magic and a system. He levels up there, but unbeknownst to him, his stats carry over to the real world, causing his body to transform into a Chad. When he returns to school, everyone is shocked and his siblings are salty to see the change. Things continue with Yuya doing ironing. Although his mind is preoccupied with thinking about the lady he saved in the fantasy world, he wonders if she's recovering fine, but his mind is at ease. A little because when he left, people had arrived to tend to her. The guy notices that since his transformation there are only 2 white tops that fit him. He has some money from cashing out from his adventures in the other world, so he decides to buy new clothes. Even though the system has alerted him that his shirt will never get dirty, he doesn't want to be seen wearing the same clothes. Every day, Yuya heads to the local mall, and he notices that all the ladies are staring at him and commenting on how beautiful he is because he's the Chad of Chads with a doctorate degree in quantum rhythmics. Shout out to Tej Cafe. Their gaze starts to make him feel uncomfortable, so he rushes to the store to get his clothes so that he can quickly go home. Meanwhile, at a different part of the shopping center, fashion photographer Hikaru gets irate at show's manager because the star has yet to arrive, which is delaying the production. He comments that it's not the first time that they have had to deal with the guy's lateness, and the photographer let it be known that Sho has been slacking off. All his manager can do is apologize on his behalf. He receives a call from a colleague telling him that they can't get hold of Sho. He passes this information, but assures him that his client is coming. This only gets the photographer angry to the point that one of his staff has to hold him back. The slash theme of the shoot centers around a hot couple shopping together, so without the boyfriend it can't be done. Mayo is the female lead and has been there since morning, but she doesn't mind waiting a little longer for him. Hikaru decides to do a sudden casting by finding a worthy man in the shopping mall. Since they are on a tight schedule during that interim, Yuya struggles to pick out some outfit. As he's overwhelmed by the choices, he's interrupted by 2 ladies who want to accompany them shopping. The guy is not used to this kind of attention and freezes, thinking that it's some kind of high-pressure sales tactic by the store. But he realizes that they are just flirting with him. He thinks fast and gives them a polite excuse as to why he can't join them. However, he does so with so much riz that the girls stand there in a dream world as he leaves, all while Hikaru begins his hunt and his assistant doesn't believe they can find someone who is that photogenic. Yuan moves to the next store, hoping that the ladies didn't get offended. At this point, they finally regain their consciousness. Predicament before pleading for his help to play the boyfriend. Yuya forgets he's handsome now, so he agrees to participate as long as they don't mind having someone like him doing if the shoppers stop and admire as they take pictures. He's even happier to help after seeing how many people have been inconvenienced by Sho. The 2 models get dressed in various outfits while they get photographed doing different couple activities. Hikaru instructs Yuya to smile and be more natural as he takes his shots. Mayo tries to sympathize with him as it's his first time, which makes him blush. The guy's breath is taken away as he admires her beauty. She breaks his gaze by commenting on how much he saved the shoot with everyone's schedules. This was the only time available. The guy is just thinking about how close she is to him. Mayo leaves him for a moment to discuss something with the photographer. Yuya watches on, impressed with her work efficiency given that she's not that much older than him. This inspires him to be more confident, so that he doesn't become a burden. She quickly rushes over to him for the next set of photos and gets a little too close to Y'all, which gets him nervous again. At this point, the whole mall has gathered to watch them. Meanwhile, in the fantasy world, Lexia recovers in her room, But she daydreams while staring outside the window thinking about Yuya. She recalls the moment of her locking eyes with him just before she lost consciousness. This stimulates her to get out of bed. The guards sit around when her room door busts open. They are confused as they watch Lexia storm through the corridor so naturally. They ask her where she's going. She tells them that she's going to find the stranger who saved her in the darkest regions. The guards are shocked by her statement because they have already told her that humans can't live in that area. She has to find him because as a member of the royal family, she must express her gratitude to the person who saved her life. The head guard tries to be more assertive, pointing out that she was just exposed to a terrible danger in that area. She informs him not to worry, because this time she will go with all of them. They all watch on, wondering where she inherited this wild side from. Back in the normal world, the shoppers are still gathered as the models take a break. One of the assistants brings them a drink to help them recover. Neo uses this as an opportunity to apologize for inconveniencing him with their work. He chokes on his drink, which amuses Mayo, although she offers him her handkerchief to wipe himself. He's too shy to accept it. When things calm down, Yu expresses his newfound appreciation for the modeling industry and the behind-the-scenes work that goes unseen. Nil confesses that she made so many mistakes when she started, which made a lot of people mad. Yuya also opens up more, disclosing that he has never worn stylish clothes like these before, as he had no connection to fashion due to his hideousness. He only saw such a lifestyle in magazines. He is interested to know why Mayo started working as a model. She explains that her parents didn't give her much attention to the work, so she decided to start modeling as a way for them to see her, even though she does see herself as very impressive. She's got fans who to cheer her on and write letters to her. It makes her happy that people find joy in looking at her pictures. She advises Yon to take every moment and enjoy it. Slowly start to rise. When they confirm that it's the star, he sends the crowd wild when he waves at them. The ladies scream how much they love him. As he walks over to Mio, the guy doesn't even acknowledge Yacht and offers to take her out after they finish the shoot. But she's not interested, so she draws back. This gives him the perfect opportunity to cabin in her. Yuan notices how handsome Sho is, but he can see that Mayo is not comfortable with his actions. So he politely calls to him to try and get his attention, but he ignores him. Again, Yaya gets more assertive with his calls, which forces Sho to respond in an annoyed state. Points out that he doesn't think that Mui approves of his behavior. Cho steps back to Punchy, are unaware of the handkerchief under his pushing Lega's capabilities come to life as he slips his attack, and in one smooth motion judo throws into the floor. This knocks him out on impact. Time pauses for a brief moment as everyone holds their mouths in shock. Yuya is a little surprised by the sudden attack, but he notes that his movements were really slow. He even threw more dynamically than he intended, and the guy begins to panic when Cho does move for a moment. He fears that everyone will yell at the ugly guy for being the handsome one. To his shock, the reaction is the exact opposite. The girls begin to scream in admiration, calling him cool. They have all switched their love to Yuya. Cho stumbles on his feet, surprised that his boxing away from the scene, embarrassed as his manager follows. Mayo looks at him with admiration. As she thanks him for the save, he shyly accepts the appreciation. Hikaru comes over to make sure that his star models aren't hurt. He comments that this incident is likely going to be the end of Cho. As he said earlier, the guy's behavior has always been bad. No one will give him work now. Neil reveals that he has been following her around recently, and she didn't know how to deal with. Hikaru apologizes for not noticing and assures her that he will let the director know so that Cho will be dealt with. The photographer offers you all a lucrative contract working as a model. He is extremely grateful, but he declines. the contract stating that he still has so much personal development to do. Hikaru doesn't press any further due to respect for Yuya since he's young. The photographer tells him that the offer is still on the table whenever he wants to pick it up since work is finished. Hikaru gives him a few expensive clothes as payment for his work. He would have preferred to pay with money, but their agency will not allow him to do so as he is classed as an amateur. Hikaru informs him that all of them have been sized perfectly. Yuya is a little apprehensive about accepting such pricey goods as he feels that the experience he gained is enough as payment. The photographer puts it in a way that makes accepting it easier. Mayo just watches on with a warm smile on her face. He says his final goodbyes to everyone before leaving. Mayo expresses her wish to work with him in the future on the car ride home. Neo looks over the day's pictures and begins to blush thinking about Yuya. Hikaru notices and teases her about it, which embarrasses her. Yuya also returns home and admires the new clothes and shoes that he was given. Meanwhile, in the fantasy world, Lexia's expedition to the darkest region has taken a turn for the worst when they are attacked by a horde of goblins. Owen tries his best to coordinate a defense, but they are on the back foot. He contemplates retreating, executed unbeknownst to them. A goblin sneaks to attack the princess from behind. However, Yes saves her again. Before it can do any damage, everyone stares at him in shock as he elegantly defeats the remaining goblins. Lexia's heart beats as she knew he would come. Yuya rushes over to the injured end and begins to give them healing potions. Owen watches on, confused as he wants to know who he is. The princess interrupts and rushes over to Yu and asks him to marry her. Everyone shouts in bafflement. Wait, does that mean her men died just? If you enjoyed our review and commentary, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Comment us on which episodes you want us to make amazing review and recap videos for you. Thank you for watching.